So,
The thing is
Sam
about
was
that
just
I've
saying,
noticed.
what did you say?
The thing I've noticed about every single video, just for you guys out there, I just need you to know this, but every single video we ever do, just before Chris press record, he tells me he's going to press record, but in a funny way. So the first thing that's happening in all of the videos is me laughing and forgetting what I'm supposed to be saying because of Chris. So
if this goes on for 3 months, we might actually get good at this by the end of it, or at least like know what each other's doing. So
some kind of system.
In the last short video, Sam mentioned this whole idea about how some of us are verbal processors and that we need maybe other people around to bounce off, or we kind of talk and then we figure out what we're thinking and feeling based on like just splurring stuff out. Like sometimes in school, you might have, if you're a verbal processor, I guess you might have been called a chatterbox or somebody that can't keep their mouth shut. And usually that's viewed as a bad thing in school, but it's not a bad thing. It's just about how you operate the best. So being asked to sit in the corner of a classroom in silence and think about something is actually your worst nightmare because you just need to talk about it. So, that really connected with me, what you were saying, Sam. But you say there's more than one type of way of processing things. What's another type?
There are multiple ways, I think, but another major way, obviously, the opposite to that, and I think it's a bit of a scale, we're kind of somewhere along this scale, is internal processing.
Okay.
So verbal processing, you do it outwardly, you do it with other people. Internal processing, you probably actually love nothing more than the go and sit and think about it.
Okay.
You're probably the kind of person that hates being put on the spot, hates it when the teacher calls on you. You probably really don't like it when you are made to come up with your opinion about something straight away. This can be really hard when you have a verbal processor and an internal processor together. My fiance is an internal processor. So the way she figures out what she's thinking is by going away and thinking about it. You know, she goes away and she thinks about it and she comes back and she knows what she thinks about it and we talk about it.
Did she do that when you asked her to marry you, Sam? Did she say,
fortunately
not. Give me a couple of days now, think about it.
I'll get back to you.
In writing.
Fortunately not.
I'll get back to you in writing within the next 3 to 6 days.
Can you imagine? I would have melted. But it can be difficult because for me, I'm such a verbal processor that sometimes I'm processing at her and she's like, whoa, I need to think about this to work out what I think. And that can be really hard when you're in family life and maybe one of your family members is pushing you for your opinion about something or pushing you for why you feel a certain way about something or why you think a certain way about something. But you might be an internal processor and you need a little bit of time to figure it out for yourself. Yeah. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with you explaining that to other people, saying, I just need some time to think about it. That's not a weakness. That doesn't make you less. That doesn't make you slow or stupid. If anything, it probably makes you a wise and considered person. Yeah. Verbal processors can be wise too, but internal processors often, they really go away and they think about it and they can come up with a really good answer that can actually be a bit of a blessing to the people around them, be a positive thing for the people around them.
So this kind of time where we're spending much more time on our own or maybe with just the people in our immediate family, this is perhaps as good a time as any to start asking ourselves these kind of questions. It's all about this thing of self-awareness that we talk about a lot in Jack, like understanding what makes us tick, understanding what we need in order to feel good, understanding how we operate, understanding why we react differently to certain things, differently to somebody else. These are all great questions to consider. So if you're kind of thinking, oh man, I've got so much time on my hands, I don't know what to do, and it's like Easter holidays, and I haven't got even work or school or even less structure than I had before, now is a great time to start to ask yourself some of these kind of questions. What kind of processor am I? How do I think about things? And to become kind of comfortable with that and to ask yourself those questions. When faced with difficult stuff, do I want somebody to talk to? If you're that kind of person, go and find someone like I do often with Sam, get on a Zoom call or ring them up on FaceTime and just spout rubbish to them for hours and hours and have a lot of fun in the meantime. If you're an internal processor, give yourself some time, go for a walk, think about, dwell on the things that you're thinking about and why you're reacting on them and become comfortable with that. And we often in Jack talk about, don't we, about how important it is for us to be okay with the person that we are, and that trying to be somebody else actually isn't very interesting at all.
Yeah.
Rather than thinking, oh, I wish I was more like that person, I wish I was more loud and verbal and talked about everything and just voiced opinions all the time, maybe that's not you. So don't try and be like that other person. Try and just be like a better version of yourself and be comfortable with that and be okay with that. Because like Sam said, that's fine, isn't it? That's absolutely fine.
Yeah. I'd finish with this, right? It's one of the biggest lies in the world that loud people are confident and secure and quiet people are unconfident and insecure.
Yeah.
Biggest lie in the world.
Biggest lie in the world. Wicked. Okay, we'll leave it there, friends, for the moment. But we'll be back with more wonderful scenes of Sam's sunny conservatory and some pearls of wisdom very, very soon. Bless you guys. See you soon. Take care.